parentheses or brackets? That is the question. All right, so when you're doing interval notation, sometimes you're using parentheses and sometimes you're using brackets. And here's how you tell. If you have a less than or a greater than, then you're going to use parentheses. If you have a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, you're going to use brackets. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what this looks like here. X is less than 2, so I find 2 on the graph. I shade in everything less than 2. When I go back to the left and I shade in this arrow, I go all the way back to negative infinity. And at this 2, I'm going to use a parenthesis. Okay, and at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you a little trick to help you remember it. X is greater than 5, so greater than is to the right. I'm going to shade in everything greater than 5. I shade in this arrow so I know it goes on forever and ever and ever. And to the right is positive infinity. Okay, negative infinity would be to the left, positive infinity is to the right. And I'm also going to use a parenthesis, and the parenthesis opens toward the shading. Okay, just like this parenthesis opens towards the shading, right? I wouldn't put it like this because there's nothing shaded here. All right, X is less than or equal to 3. So here's the 3. I shade in everything less than or equal to 3 all the way back, all the way, it never stops, it goes all the way to negative infinity. And since it's less than or equal to, I'm going to use a bracket. Okay, and here's the trick to help you remember. If this has a line, see the line? Then the bracket is made of lines. 1, 2, 3. It's made of lines instead of made of curves. That's the trick. All right, last one. X is greater than or equal to negative 9. So I find negative 9 on the graph, wherever that is. I'm shading greater than or equal to. Greater than is to the right. Does it stop? Nope, never stops. Goes all the way to positive infinity. And at negative 9, I'm going to use a bracket. Line, line, line. See that line right there? Bracket is made of lines. Now, to do interval notation for this, if it is only one interval, pretty much what you see in the, let me get a different color. Pretty much what you see in the graph comes straight down. I have one shaded interval here, and that interval starts at negative infinity and goes to 2. Right? See how they just come down? I see that my 2 has a parenthesis, so I'm going to use a parenthesis. Infinity and negative infinity always has a parenthesis, never a bracket on those, okay, because they're not real numbers, they're concepts. And then here we have everything shaded from 5 to positive infinity, and I'm going to write it like this: 5 comma infinity. 5 has a parenthesis. Infinity always gets a parenthesis. So that's my interval notation for this one. All right, and then when I look over on the right, I see interval notation. Everything is shaded from negative infinity to 3. One interval from negative infinity to 3. Infinity and negative infinity always gets a parenthesis. 3 in this case gets a bracket. Okay, I have a line, so my bracket is made of line, line, line. All right, and then for my last example here, X is greater than or equal to negative 9. I don't even need to look at that. I just bring this straight down. Negative 9 is on the left, infinity is on the right. Negative 9 gets a bracket, infinity gets a parenthesis. Infinity always gets a parenthesis. And then this is my answer in interval notation. Okay, so the takeaways from this. If you see a little line right here and right here, these are going to get brackets because a bracket is made of lines. If it doesn't have a line, it's going to get a parenthesis. Infinities always get parentheses. All right, positive infinity is over here to the right, And negative infinity is over here to the left. All right, I hope that helps. Maybe I should make my smiley face out of brackets and parentheses.